Hi, this is Danny Ibarra from MyMark. Tyrell Gray tells us the secret of the rising tide. Several years ago, I was on an outdoor adventure with a couple of friends. We rented a boat at a sea harbor, crossed an inlet of ocean, and went up a river on the other side of the inlet. We traveled until dark, tied our boat to a tree, and set up our camp with the idea that in the morning we would continue upstream shortly after sunrise. In the morning, we crawled out of our tent and stared in dismay at our boat that was now high and dry. The water had receded and the shore was now 30 feet below our now useless boat. Obviously, I had no idea how the tides worked. I had grown up in the high plain deserts of Utah. The only solution was to wait until the tide came back in and lifted our boat enough that we could get back in the current and head upstream. Today we are seeing several tides around us raising the proverbial boat. However, you need to make sure that you are in a position so that you can take advantage of that tide. A recent blog I read said 100 people doing something at the same time has far more power than 300 people doing it over time. We unconsciously amplify the power of coordination when we consider the impact of actions. If there are 1,000 people waiting outside of a store, we instantly believe we're seeing a phenomenon. While the internet makes it easier than ever to spread ideas, it makes it far more compelling to coordinate actions. One of these many tides we are seeing today is the effect that social media is having. From marketing to product placement, social media is changing the business environment, and that is precisely why one of our manuals is named The 5 Must-Dos and the Secret of Rising the Tide. Make sure you take advantage of social media and place yourself so that you can take advantage of this phenomenon. This is Danny Ibarra from MyMark on The Secret of the Rising Tide.